As a part of leadership series, I will be talking on how to improve awareness and confidence. Hi everyone, this is the last video in our learning journey, and it's great one of you improving your confidence and awareness. Do you know that there is a connection between confidence and awareness, but it is not one that you might think about often. When awareness improves, your confidence goes down. Watch this video to find out why, as well as discovering front lines, tactical, and strategic awareness. Enjoy your learning. This module, we are going to be looking at how to improve confidence and awareness. Awareness comes from being aware to perceive the overall interconnected system. It is the understanding the environment in which you are operating in, understanding what is happening, why it is happening, and how it is happening. You can perceive the smallest details and you recognize the way that those details affect the other things that matters to you. For example, an ant has a certain level of awareness and so does a human. But what is clear is that a human has a vastly greater level of awareness than an ant. We can perceive much more complex and nuanced understanding of the world in which we exist in. But just because the ant has a low level of energy of a low level of awareness does not mean that it is not effective in its capacity as an ant. It is very effective at doing what it does and are one of the most successful species on the planet. So it is important to recognize that not just about growing awareness as per se, but having the right level of awareness for us, how to improve. The reason why this matters is that as a 21st century leader, you need to be clear about how much awareness that you need and what is the right kind of awareness. There are some great examples of why that matters. For example, some of you might remember these names: Blockbuster, Kodak, Nokia. These were all once giants in their field, titans that dominated the world in their marketplace. Blockbuster is the renting out videos, Kodak in film and photography, and Nokia in mobile phones. Today, they are shadows of themselves if they barely exist at all. And the reason for that is the management essentially didn't pay attention to the way that the world was changing and did ensure that organization upgraded with that changes. So they had the wrong level of awareness. So what you need to do is make sure that you have high level of awareness in order to understand how the environment is changing around you so that you can respond in a timely manner. The key point here there is it's about responding in a timely manner because awareness alone is not enough. The reason for this is easily to understand it in the context of our favorite metaphor, the football coach. If we imagine the football coach is highly aware, that means that they can understand exactly where the problems are and where the solutions might be. But that does not actually change anything. The real way of changing something is to make decisions and then make sure that you follow through in the control cycle to actually change the environment. And so that's why confidence is so important. As a football coach, it is not enough to simply be aware of the situation. You have to actually make the decisions and follow through on them. And that is where we contrast the football coach with the passionate football fan. The fan will have their perspective of what the coaching should do, but it is quite another thing to actually be in the situation of a coach and have to make those difficult decisions. There are many factors that come into play here, and one of the most important one is confidence because we need to make sure that we are confident in our decisions in order to follow through on them. Confidence is equal to awareness plus decisions. The final point that we want to make here is that therefore you need to make sure you are both improving your awareness and your confidence. The irony is that sometimes you improve your awareness, your confidence actually decreases. The reason for this is because you became more and more aware of how complex the world is, or perhaps more and more aware of own perceived inadequacies or weaknesses. And so that's where awareness can be double-edged sword, because you may perceive the world more clearly, but then also undermine yourself more. And so that's why you need to increase both awareness and confidence, because it is not just about understanding the world better, it is acting in it as 21st century leader. Awareness, what, why, and how. So, what is the key point we are making here? The way in which you build confidence, the way in which you build awareness is to pay attention to the control cycles. Specifically, confidence is created by mindfully completing control cycles. What does that mean? Mindfully completing, it means that you are aware that you are out setting goals, engaging in plans, communicating those plans, implementing the plans, and learning from them. By going round and round that cycle, that's how you build authentic confidence, and that's the key idea. Authentic confidence, because there are many people in the world who are far too brass. In other words, they pump themselves up with ideas how grand they are, but they are mainly based on their own self sense of importance rather than anything they are actually demonstrated to achieve. And so the authentic confidence comes from the ability to understand your ability to perform the control cycle, and it operates across three dimensions: the past, the present, and the future. You can understand what you did in the past, what you are doing now, and what you are going to do in future, and all of these together act as a source of confidence. And then also you can understand that they are also a source of awareness, because as you move across time, in that you connect past, present, and future and build your awareness of the situation, improve your confidence and awareness. So what is the tool do we provide you to actually make this happen? In front of you, you can see simple framework that maps out of the left, past, present, and future, and on the right, the level in which you are engaging with reality. So the point is to recognize in terms of engaging with reality that we are performing multiple control cycles at the same time. We are performing the control cycle in our day-to-day activities, anything from getting up, going to work, communicating with our colleagues. Those are very rapid control cycles. At the same time, we are also looking at the medium term, what is happening in the next week or two, and that's a different level of control cycle, a different control cycle that is operating. And then we have the strategic level, which is usually 1 month or more, in which we are looking towards the big goals and moving towards achieving the long term. And so, what is important to recognize is that you need to build your awareness across all these or three these levels. It is no point just being focused on day to day. Your role as a 21st century leader is to be aware of the overall situation of the front line, the tactical and the strategic situation. On the other hand, you cannot also just be focused on the strategic situation. This idea that leaders are just these very clever planners who sit isolated in the world building very clever plans is an idea that belongs to the 20th century manager. The 21st century leaders need to be involved with what's going on in reality. That does not necessarily mean you have to be on the front line every day, but you have to be plugged in and understand what is going on. That is because the world is changing so fast that if you are not on the front line and you are not understanding what is going on every now and then you are not going to be able to understand the changes quickly enough. Only focusing on the strategic leadership means you are far too disconnected from the reality around you. So how you actually go about building your awareness? So what you need to do is focus on the past, present, and future. And so what you want to do is in each one of the nine boxes of the grid, we want you to imagine that you are performing a control cycle. So for the past, you need to remember a control cycle that you have performed, present that you are good doing at this moment, and future one that you plan on doing. So you might be asking yourself, well, hang on a moment, I have never actually performed a control cycle. That is not true. You are performing control cycle all the time. The difference is that up until now, you probably have not been aware of it. So the goal of the exercise is to ask you reflect on your control cycle activities, try and piece together the activities that you have been performing so that you can start to perceive the interconnectedness of the control cycle. The reason why this matters is because by practicing this awareness building tool, you are able to upgrade your understanding of the situation. What you want to be at is the level in which you can perceive the control cycle happening. Why does that matters? It matters because when you can perceive the control cycle, it becomes a source of confidence for you, and that's how you generate that authentic confidence. You can look to your past and remember the control cycle that you completed, and that will give you a sense of strength and confidence because you know you have overcome those challenges before in the present, being able to clarify picture the control cycle you are trying to implement. So, for example, you are trying to achieve a strategic goal of signing a big client by clearly being able to map out in your mind the five key activities of the control cycle. That clearly becomes a source of confidence for you and allows you to go forward. The crucial aspect of leadership is visioning, being able to project into future and determine what it should be, either through creation of visions or goals. And if you do not know the difference between vision and goals, yeah, you will discover it right there. But anyway, back to future and control cycles. If you want to be able to build the future, you need to be able to clearly see how you are going to do it. So breaking it down into how you are going to perform the five key control activities is very useful way of you being able to draw confidence from your ability to achieve your future goals. So in summary, what do you need to do? You need to fill in all of the grid by writing on a piece of paper or trying in a document. I do appreciate that this sounds like an onerous activity, but this is the best way to build your awareness. It is always hardest at the beginning. It is really serious. If you are really serious about building your awareness of the capacity to use the control cycle, and let's not forget, this is a fundamental aspect of leadership in terms of your ability to exert control. Then you need to practice and challenge yourself to grow your level of awareness. So I really encourage you to make this happen. Take 5 minutes and you will see that it will start to improve your capacity to do this immediately. Step two, once you have done that, reflect on your ability to perform the control cycle and identify 3 ways in which you can improve your ability to pursue the control cycle. Here we can already see why it is so important to reflect on your capacities because that enables you to identify where your awareness weaknesses are and address them, as well as where your strengths are and improve those strengths. If you are feeling up for the challenge, or move to step three and practice by identifying someone that you respect and then try and work out what their control cycles are. Think of someone who have done something really that you admire and work out how they did it using the control cycle framework. In other words, What's the goal they set? What's the planning process do they put in place? How do they communicate the plans? How do they implement those plans effectively? And then how did they incorporate learnings into the control cycle to go round and round again? Remember that this is about going round and round to control cycles. So they would have normally performed more than one control cycle. The reason why this is really helpful is that it enables you to identify what others people are doing well, and then you can rely on their learnings to upgrade your own capacity. In summary, what have learned on this module, true confidence is created by being aware of your ability to perform the control activities. You can create confidence for yourself by making sure that you understand how you are performing the control activities. This is where the tool of visualization come in. It becomes extremely important for you to practice visioning the control cycle, and you can do that by reflecting on control cycle you performed previously, control cycles you are currently performing, and the control cycle you will want to perform in the future. Finally, to really grow towards building a high performing team, encourage your team members to do the same. By encouraging awareness in all of your team members, you can move towards having a very effective team. Wisdom of the system, the capability of their complex system is fundamentally constrained by its control cycle. Improve your learnings.